how are you? It's Jody here from The 7 Effect, and in this video, I'm actually going to be talking you through our Life Raft program. So this is the stimulus package that I created for our business builders. So we run the Lifestyle Business Builder program, which is essentially a program for coaches, consultants, and experts who want to go from 0 or 5 figures to 6 figures a year working part-time. It's a phenomenal program. We've built an incredible community of coaches and experts from all over Australia who are achieving epic things in their business and basically setting themselves free so that they have more fun, more freedom, and more fulfillment in their lives. So I love my work right now, and even though it's been school holidays for the last 2 weeks here in Adelaide, where I don't normally do any client work, we run in the school terms, because one of my ultimate goals when I started a business was to build a business where I could make 6 figures a year, work 3 days a week, and take all of the school holidays off. That was the blueprint. But these school holidays, I've been jumping in and running the Life Raft program. So here's the cool thing, folks. I've got some slides that I can share with you, and this is how cool it is. You can literally flick through the slides and I can talk you through the content, the 9 strategic shifts. So this is going to be a pretty informative session, and do keep your questions coming, but I think I'm going to go even one step further, and I'm actually going to bring up my iPad. So I've got my iPad pencil, and because it is Friday, ta-da, we can draw it out and have a bit of fun. So I do encourage you to ask questions if you're watching this live, and I'll certainly bring those questions up and do my best to answer them. And if you are watching the replay and you have questions as well along the way, please do feel free to post them, and I'll obviously get notification, and I'll keep asking your questions. By the way, if you want a copy of the PDF slides that I'm talking through after you've seen this, either type slides below or send me a direct message, Jody Nevid, and I'll just flick you the PDF, because sometimes we watch these things and we go, oh, I just want to have a copy of it written down. So let's get into it, shall we? And by the way, if you are watching, I see I've got some eyeballs on me. I would love to know that you're here, and just type a hiya, or just a hi, or a H even. If you're feeling really like you can't be asked, just give me a H, so I know who you are and that you're watching, which would be great. And that's a bit of fun, isn't it? All right, so let's get into it. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about essentially was, if you are in business, and these are great strategies for anyone whose business is feeling like it is struggling to stay afloat, like if your business is taking a stand for still. Oh, check it out. Hello, Sue. Hello, Tony. Thank you, ladies, for being here. But what I wanted to talk about is, if you are in business and you feel like you've hit a standstill, this is going to be great for you for 2 things. Number 1, I want you to look at the structure that I'm about to outline. And number 2, obviously the 9 strategic shifts that I'm going to share with you. It's all based on a simple 3-step approach. And so in the Business Builder Life Raft, we looked at first these 3 key areas. So mindset, the state of your mind matters right now. We're also looking at messaging. How clear are you with what you need to be sharing with the market? Look at my messy circles. And finally, how to actually monetize your stuff online. Now, I'm seeing problems in how people are going with this right now. The reality is, in the mindset space, fearful minds lead to fearful times. And the interesting thing about fear is it is imagined. So fear, false expectations appearing real. I want you all to know the difference between fear and danger. Danger is real, fear is imagined. And so it's important, if you're a leader or a business owner, that you get your mindset in a space where it's strong enough to really be dealing with reality, not imagined fear and delusion. The reality is right now, there are a lot of businesses that are booming. The reality is right now that most people are incredibly healthy and fine from coronavirus. I'm talking here in Australia. The reality is right now, the world is filled with opportunities. But if we're in a fear space, we're not going to be able to grasp those. The other big problem that I'm seeing from a messaging point of view is many people are, because they're in a fear space, they're intrinsically stepping back into safety. And this is what we do as humans. When we're in fear, we focus on security needs over satisfaction needs, which means, as Abraham Maslow says, we will step back into safety rather than forward into growth. And so what I'm seeing is people are actually going silent to keep themselves safe. They're shrinking back and they're messaging less to their community, whereas we don't want to be doing that. And the 9 strategic shifts that I'm going to share with you are going to give you some tips on how to not be silent, how to not be caught up in a mindset of fear and scarcity. And obviously the other big problem that many of my clients are facing, and even some of the businesses that I was speaking to in the Showcase SA session that I did earlier this week, is, well, how do we actually freaking monetize online? Because I'm in the industry of events. And in fact, the 7 Effect is in the industry of events. I have a training center that I rent out to people to host their events in. Guess what? 100% cancelled. I run live events. Guess what? Can't be doing those anymore. So the question is, how do we pivot and still make money if we're in an industry that's literally challenged by the coronavirus? And some of the stuff that I'm seeing people do right now is incredibly cool and creative. And I love cool and creative. So let's get into it, shall we? Now, I want to just be in 2 ways. I want to give you the content, but I also want to kind of pull back the curtain. If you are someone who's in a space where you need to get your marketing message right to your community, I want you to get the structure of what I'm going through here. If you, and this goes for any business and even any leader who's trying to get people from where they are to where they want to be, the simplest structure that you can organize your message in is this. We look at, what are the 3 problems? Well, I've talked about that with you already. Fearful minds lead to fearful times. I'm seeing people stepping back into safety and silence. And if you're watching this and you can agree with this, any of this, or you've seen signs of it, give me a I hear you, my friend. I would love to know if you can relate to this in any way, even if you've felt it yourself. And then obviously the other problem is don't know how to pivot and make money online. So my question to you is, what are the 3 problems that you see right now in your industry or in your client base? So what are the 3 things that you're noticing that's preventing people from achieving their goals? And then we go, okay, well now, because I know what I'm talking about and I do what I do, I'm an expert, a coach, a specialist in my area, or I'm a leader with a vision and ability to solve problems, we then develop 3 simple solutions. So here are the solutions. I want to show you how to master your mind. I want to talk about some strategies for marketing your message, and then we're also going to give you some hot tips on how to monetize online. And essentially, it all leads to the 9 strategic shifts. So if we were to go and look at the 3 pillars, I've got 1 problem for each of those. I've got 1 solution for each of those at a high level. And then I've just got 3 strategic shifts that come off of each of those. And that's where I get the 9 from. So this is the structure. I just want to, all of my clients will know the way I like to work is there's no secrets. It's all, I'm behind the scenes as well as front of face. And I'm very raw and real in my personal style. That's just my personal brand. So rather than me just get straight into the 9 strategic shifts, I wanted to reveal to you the structure because I think the structure in itself is a very valuable thing for you to understand. So now let's get into the shifts, shall we? And in looking at the 9 strategic shifts, please know that this is a program that we've done over a 3-week period with a full hour teaching and coaching on each topic. And to go into it, I'm actually going to be developing some more content and having a module online for our business builders. We've done 3 weeks of understanding each of these strategic shifts, a lot deeper than what I'm about to go into here, obviously. And now we're about to do 3 more weeks, every week a different shift, and really unpacking and implementing it. So I haven't got a lot of time here, but I just want to give you the high level so that you've got something to take away. And if you do want the slides, as I said, just post in the comments below. So the first strategic shift I want you to make, and these are our 3 strategic shifts that relate to the mindset. The first one is we want to shift away from competing. Now, there's a fantastic book called The Blue Ocean Strategy. And in the Blue Ocean Strategy, it talks about red-blooded oceans and the ability to create a new blue ocean in your market. And the key with the Blue Ocean Strategies is looking at, well, how do I bring the cost of delivery down whilst bringing the client value up? And they call that value in an innovation. And so one of the most important strategic shifts we can make from our mindset is to shift our focus from this competitive red-blooded ocean and let go of the beliefs that, oh, it's impossible and everybody's trying to do it, so I might as well not. But instead, look at what is your blue ocean strategy. How can you carve up a new slice of the market by being incredibly innovative? And there's 4 forces that we teach in the Blue Ocean Strategy, and you can find out what those are. You can grab the book, and we drill down into those further in the program. But shift number 1, get out of competing and start creating, innovating. The second shift is stop hoarding. Obviously, there's been a lot of hoarding of pasta and bread and wheat and toilet paper and all those kind of things. And I'm sure that you're not one of those people. Well, you haven't been doing that. I know that. But when I say hoarding, I also refer to stepping back and holding on to your money and security. Now, it's not about going out and being frivolous and throwing it all away, but there's a sense of wisdom where we need to make a shift from this whole fear and hoarding mentality to actually stepping up and becoming high value. So we create new opportunities. We become what I call a high value human. Now, if that's something that you're interested in, by the way, I've got a masterclass on that, which will be a 90-minute masterclass where we're going to go deep into the nuts and bolts of how to be a high value human. The reason I'm doing it is because that's an area that I see a lot of people struggling with. There are so many incredibly talented, exceptional and extraordinary people in my community, but they trip up on themselves because either their mindset is still playing stories of self-doubt and fear, or they just haven't consciously unpacked their actual value and unlocked their true human potential. You know, even the most successful people are often achieving success in an unconscious way. But the most valuable asset you as a human can have is a true understanding of your success formula. And even the most organically successful, sort of gifted or magical looking people, if you sit with them and unpack it, there's a process behind it. So if you really want to learn more about how to really design your high value human process, your personal system for success, make sure you join me for that. It's on May 7th at 12:30, totally free masterclass on the topic. And this is the other thing. I'll talk about that in the next strategic shift. But me doing these types of things is part of my strategic shift. Number 1, to lead the way for my business builders and the amazing clients that I'm coaching. But number 2, to actually get out there and grow my business. I'm a business owner and I need to let people know how I can help them, how I can add value. If I'm keeping myself small and hiding or shrinking back my value, no one knows that I'm even available to offer support. And then the other thing big mental strategic shift is from, waiting to get all your ducks in a row. So many people talk to me about, I just got to get all my ducks in a row. No, we don't want to procrastinate and be all prepared right now. What we actually want to do is get up here and be proactive and actually take the lead on facilitating people through a process of what I call a mission-based expedition. Rally the troops, decide what your mission is, and then design the journey and lead the way. And this is about saying, right, I see the solution, I'm going to unpack the steps, and I'm going to have the courage, because now I'm a high-value human, I understand what my worth and my value is, to actually lead the way. So those are the first 3 strategic shifts from a mindset perspective. I'm falling on my words here. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if you can relate to any of this, again, I would love your comments below. It's always fun when you get some engagement. And I do love questions. I love to jam on a bit of Q&A. All right, let's talk now about your strategic shifts around your messaging. Everyone in business, every leader who has a role to influence people, change, whatever it might be, situations. Now, when I talk leaders, I'm not talking about managers. I'm talking about parents. I'm talking about just any adult who has any form of responsibility. We need to all grow up and actually accept the role of being leaders, being people who are capable of driving something forward. And as a business owner, guess what? Boom, you just got made a leader. You must be a leader. Now, I don't love the term leader so much as I used to, because I come from a corporate leadership space where I was an executive leadership coach for many years and a leadership trainer. And as much as I had the best time of my life there, I think the conventional approach to leadership often gets connected up to a position of management. So whether you're a business owner or a leader or a high-value human is what I prefer to call them, you need to know how to get your message right. You need a message that resonates with your people. Here are the strategic shifts I recommend that you start making. So the first one is, let's shift away from telling people what we think that they need to have, hear, and know. And instead, let's spend some time asking people, what do you need right now? And, I did a lot of, before we even launched the Business Builder program, when we went out to our market, we had a really engaged community. We did a lot of asking in the forms of polls. We did market research using SurveyMonkey. And you know what? Every time I sit down with a client and I listen to them, I'm listening to what they need right now. Where are their gaps? What are their stumbling blocks? What are they tripping over? And so one of the things we did in our Raft program is I set everyone up with a strategy to do some market research. And everyone went off, and it was great because some people came back and went, wow, turns out the direction I was going to head down isn't what my people want. Thank you. I'm now going to pivot and give them the things that we want. Now, the beautiful thing about this process is it gives you the language to use in your communication. So we want to go from telling to asking. We also want to go from shrinking back to stepping up and serving. And the most important thing that I think you can do is serve your clients with a survival kit or a step-by-step system that will help them achieve their goals and their objectives. So what we did was the structure that I've shared with you before, and we called it Unpacking the State of the Nation. Oops, that's meant to be an N. So we've had all sorts of fun in LBB talking about our SOTNs or our SOTNs. It stands for the State of the Nation, and it's essentially the problems unpacked. And there's a formula that we talked about where I coach people through how they can design their own survival kit where they can serve their clients based on the info that they've gathered through the market research. And then the third step is to find your voice and shine in the marketplace. Become omnipresent. Don't shut up and keep yourself silent. pause and wait for things to all get better. And let me just say to you, if you are one of these people who's just kind of like going, oh, I'll just ride it out and see what happens once it's all over, and you own a business or you're a leader, then you are doing the people in your community a massive disservice right now, a massive disservice. Your role as a business owner and as a leader is actually to be on the forefront and sharing and shining and having a voice, because people need voices of reason right now. So I really encourage you to find your voice. And guess what? Your voice will come through in these two areas here. All right, let's look at the next 3 strategic shifts. These are the final 3 strategic shifts, and it's about how to monetize online. Now, obviously, we can't do in-room events anymore. My training room out there, the Life Design Studio, is empty. The crickets are just hanging out and there's tumbleweeds rolling through. That's it. But what we have done is we've pivoted and taken everything online to Zoom rooms, and I've spent some time learning the Zoom party tricks. And the reality is there's lots of them. Zoom is super fun, and you can create incredibly engaging online experiences, even full-day workshops. And next week I've got a 2-day coaching masterclass that's happening in Zoom. So I recommend that if you are in business and you're not hosting Zoom events and programs, whether they be free or paid, that you start mastering the art of using Zoom. Guess what the great thing is that so many of our business builders have said, because we've pivoted from trying to find people and fill rooms locally to going on Zoom, is wow, it literally just opened up my market to not just national, but global. So this shift is having people in the Business Builder program starting to think bigger than they've ever thought before. And I'm excited by that. So when you start to learn how to teach on Zoom, you'll realize that there's all sorts of amazing opportunities for you that you've probably never even tapped into. Just an insight tip as well. When we first looked at our Goals Club, so our Goals Club is a monthly event I host here, and even our coaching masterclass, when I announced that those 2 events would be on Zoom, the Goals Club actually sold out within a couple of days. It was only half full, filled up within 2 days. And the coaching masterclass got some bookings immediately as soon as I announced it was going to be on Zoom as well. That's next week. I still do have about 2 places left. If you're interested in that, let me know. But that's been really exciting. The other thing that we don't need to do so much is put this energy into really like, you know what, I need to work it. I need to get my polish on, get my suit on. I think it's important right now to not fake it till you make it. It's not like needing to polish up your professionalism, but get in the arena and have fun winging it. So we're doing these things called Wing It webinars in Life Design School. And actually, Ali Nitschke, one of our coaches from Made for More, is hosting them and interviewing all sorts of amazing people through this format that we're calling Wing It webinars. So I recommend that if you are a coach, a consultant, a expert in any arena, learn how to run Wing It webinars and start having fun with it. Just get in there and jam on a topic. And we unpacked all sorts of ways that you can do that, which was a lot of fun. And our students are already doing it and loving the process and learning lots about themselves and really stepping up to the plate. And then, of course, the other thing we want to do is take away this whole boring, conventional, and exhausting experience of tick and flick online learning. It's really important when you design online programs right now to make them epic online experiences. And using things like what I'm doing here with Ecamm, running Zoom party tricks, designing your actual online units in a very clever way, which we're teaching in the Business Builder, so that it's super engaging and people feel like you're right there with them in the room, and you can literally have 200 people go on a journey, but it feels like it's just you and them. This is the kind of stuff that you want to be doing. So those are the 9 strategic shifts. And in summary, and this is one of the things that might have you say, yeah, give me your PDFs there. Just type PDF in the comments below, and I'll send you a copy of this, or feel free to direct message me personally, Jodie Neverd. I'll write that here, Jodie Neverd, in Messenger, and I can just send you them as an attachment. But these are the 9 strategic shifts in summary. And if you have any questions, pop them in. I'm ready to answer them. The fact that there's no questions, I'm like, oh, is this okay? Are people getting it? But anyway, let's talk through the summary. So number 1, dive into your blue ocean. These top 3 things are your mindset stuff. Dive into a blue ocean. Don't get caught up into competitive red-blooded oceans. Become a high-value human. Know how to define and deliver your worth in a confident, clear, and strong, courageous way. And this is so important. Like I'm super passionate about this right now. This is like my revolution that I want to lead right now is a mission-based expedition to help people really understand what their value is and become a high-value human. Because guess what? Millions of jobs have been lost. Business have closed down that may never open again. And I can tell you, if you look at books like The End of Jobs and A Whole New Mind, the writing's been on the wall for a long time. I think coronavirus has just been a catalyst to make something happen quicker that we all knew was going to happen anyway, or that those that are educated knew was going to happen anyway, but a lot of people still have their head in the sand about it. My recommendation to you is understand that the world's changing, and it's the high-value humans, the people who know how to define and deliver their intrinsic human value in a results-based high-value way. They will never worry for work. They'll either be able to find a dream job with ease, they'll always be able to lead teams to success, and they will always be able to go out on their own if they want to and say, you know what, there's no work for me in terms of employment, but I know how to create my own job because I'm a high-value human. So I'm very passionate about that stuff right now. So mindset, let's do the mindset as the green stuff. Develop your blue ocean, become high value, and lead your mission-based expedition. So I'm really at the moment excited about that being a mission-based expedition for me. Rallying the troops and saying, let's become high value. The mission-based expedition that I'm also leading right now is keep your business above water, hence the stimulus package. So that's what we'll be doing in the Business Builder. What's your mission-based expedition? Now, what color should we do the message stuff for? Let's make it purple. Embrace the lost art of asking. Really important. Do your market research. Speak to your people. Find out what they need. Shape your survival kit. And this is where you really step up and serve and say, okay, I've got solutions, folks. Here they are. We did an activity in LBB where we took the survival kit and we turned it into a 3-week marketing plan. How cool is that? Like, this literally becomes your plan to keep your business above water. And then, of course, find your voice. Be omnipresent. Don't shrink back and shut up right now. Be out there. Be sharing. Be the shining light that people need to guide them to where they want to go. If you're already in business or you are a leader, guess what? That's your job anyway. So if you're not doing this stuff at a high value level, then it's time to start. It's time to start. All right, what color shall we do for the Monetize Online? Oh, I should have made that green, but let's do it pink. So, pimp it up with online Zoom party tricks. You know, Zoom's free. There was special offers that people were sharing in their LBB program. There's lots of cool stuff, from breakout rooms to piping sound into all sorts of other stuff, spotlighting members. Master the party tricks of Zoom. Learn how to host wing it webinars, share your message, build your community, create engaging experiences, and then design and lead an epic online experience that guides your people through their mission-based expedition. And so the mission-based expedition, once you've created that, becomes an incredible online experience where you can literally lead people from all over the world to a goal. And the most beautiful thing that we do in LBB is we teach them how to build a business. LBB stands for the Lifestyle Business Builder. Is we teach people how to build a business where they can make 120K a year working part-time and with 50 or less clients. And that's the formula for a life. Oops, look at that. I'm in the wrong place there. I might just have to move over there. 120K, I've just decided, looking at that mess, one of my missions is to improve my messiness and become a neater writer. Give me another turn, folks. I've been watching how messy, it's because I get excited and I'm like, write it really fast. And it's also because I'm a bit dyslexic, so I do a thing. So let me write it, let me try. I'm going to develop my skills right in front of you. So these are the things that we teach in LBB. 120K per year. That's the goal for my students. How do I make 6 figures a year? How do we do it working part-time? And my model is Tuesday to Thursday is the work week, and then school holidays off. I love that model. It works for me. Truth be told, the last school holidays, because of the coronavirus, I'm using this time to do lots of learning and lots of ramping things up in the business in terms of re-engineering back end, redesigning front end. So I am working, but I don't do client work in the school holidays. And usually in the school holidays, my family and I are heading off on holidays for school holidays. And I love that. So it's 3 days a week, part-time. My part-time is Tuesday to Thursday, as well as school holidays off. But, you can do whatever you want. All of our business builders have their own blueprint that we work with them to create. And what was the third thing that I wrote? 50 clients or less. Imagine that, being able to make all of that with just having to have 50 clients or less. 6-figure income, part-time lifestyle, just a handful of clients. Now, let me just tell you, in our first year, we made $124,000 with just 3 clients. And then there was an extra from our community. So our first year of business, we actually did $169,000 in business, which is pretty good going for our very first year. I was pretty happy with that. In the second year, it was 279. And ever since, we've managed to maintain consistent growth, and so many of our students are doing the same. So this stuff works, folks. I hope this has been of value to you. As I said, if you want a copy of the slides, just so you've got the list, you can screenshot this right now. I'll leave it there for you, and you can take a screenshot, or you can message me or just type PDF in the comments below. But yeah, it works. It's fun. And right now I'm freaking loving what I do for a living. It's very, very cool. One other thing, we've got 5 places opening up this month. So not this month, next month, for the month of May, for the LBB program. So if that's something that you're interested in, I've got 5 spots for people to come in just for the month of May, only 5 maximum. If you want info on that, by all means, just type LBB in the comments below and I'll get in touch and we can talk. Happy Friday, folks, and thanks so much for watching. Thanks, Tony and Sue, if you're still here, for your comments. And I'll see you all pretty soon. Have a great weekend and enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.